That's what I want to get paid for.
Day two, man. I'm up.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to your Saturday night edition of Unscripted live here on Unscripted, our Facebook page, and also on our boy Jason McMahon's, Jay McLovin's Facebook. We're doing it on there as well for his 50th birthday bash. Of course, on the All Sports All Plays Network. I'm going to be your producer, your moderator tonight, Logan Landers, and joining me is my co-host, of course, from Prideful Takes, our boy. What's going on, Pride?
Logan, what it do, my boy? How you feeling, bro?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man. Been watching some college football. Not a lot of good games, honestly. Today's been a lot of blowouts compared to last week. But hey, it is what it is. You take the good with the bad. And also, too, our other co-host, the host with the most, our guy, Big Shot Rob. What's going on, brother?
Logan, what's going on, man? Just getting ready for this Hurricanes game at 9 o'clock, man. I'm excited, bro. I think we're going to go into Texas A&M and beat up on those boys, bro. We're going to get in the top 10 now.
Yeah, man. It's been wild, man.
Yeah, the U is going to be back to national prominence, man.
You heard it right here from Big Shot Rob. Of course, if you like the video, like, comment, share, subscribe. We go live Tuesdays, Thursdays, 7 o'clock Eastern, and, of course, Saturdays at 8. Let's kick things off, fellas, with some breaking news, some opening segments, whatever it is you want to call it. And first off, these are all from Jay, by the way. He got all these wrote down for us before he went to celebrate his birthday. So we are going to be basing off of him tonight, as we should. Opening segment he's got, number one, is why was Roberto Clemente Day in New York when he did play in Pittsburgh? Now, the Pirates were in that game. I can only assume Jay's meaning why wasn't the game in Pittsburgh. So what were your thoughts on that after the game the other night? Pride, you first.
I mean, the thing with the Roberto Clemente thing, you got to understand, like, a lot of times you're going to want to have it in a place where it's, more Hispanics, right? And New York, like, that's just where Hispanics are just born from, I guess. Like, I guess, like, in the middle of New York, there's just, like, I don't know, a spawn thing that just Hispanics just come out left, right, and center. So, like, in my opinion, I get why he was there, like, why I ended up why he was, or why they had it over in New York, because again, it's more Hispanic populated and whatnot. So honestly, I didn't really have a problem with it, mostly because, I mean, does it really matter whether or not Pittsburgh really has a home game? That's kind of the same thing as saying Jackie Robinson Day. Oh yeah, they gotta have it, not Brooklyn. I almost said, well, I mean, technically Brooklyn, but the Dodgers have to have a home game. Like, no, there have been multiple times when the Dodgers were on the road for it. Like, it's not like Robert Clemente Day is not for Pittsburgh. Like, right. It is just, it's observed by all the MLB. So honestly, I don't think that's a big deal at all, to be honest.
Big Shot Rob, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, man. If anything, they should have had it in Puerto Rico, man, because this guy was Roberto Clemente was born and died in Puerto Rico, so that's his native land. So I would say that they should have had it in Puerto Rico, because I mean, this man is Boricua.
Yes, sir.
That would be nice. I'd say they could do that for one of these. Honestly, I mean, they've been having this around about 20 years now.
Yeah. I mean, I think they could have had it in New York if he was like a New Yorican and he was born in like New York,
right?
And had ties to like New York, but his ties are he's like a real full Puerto Rican from Puerto Rico, and then he actually died in Puerto Rico. So I mean, if anything, they should have had it there.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
And who knows, they might do that one day in the future. That's a great idea. But like I said, I don't think it's too big of an issue. I mean, as long as, like I said, the Pirates are involved in the game, that's the team he was with. And like you said, Pride said with New York, I mean, there's a large Hispanic population there, so it means a lot to the people. And it's overall, it's kind of like with Jackie Robinson Day. It's just a nice tribute to some of the game's greatest players. Also, Jay chiming in saying, "Hey, you guys are awesome. Thanks a lot, bro. Hope you're enjoying your birthday dinner. I know you've had a good day so far." But let's move on to our next topic here, boys. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Will we get some more rushing yards from the Eagles quarterback this upcoming week? What do you think? Big Shot Rob, we'll start with you first.
Yeah, hopefully, man, because I got this guy on one of my fantasy teams. But I think the Vikings are actually going to win the game, though. They have a pretty good defense. But yeah, I'm hoping Jalen Hurts, has a big game. He's able to get AJ Brown involved again, because I mean, that guy last week, he had a massive game. I'm hoping he throws the ball more to Devontae Smith, though, and obviously Dallas Goedert to get those guys involved. You got to kind of like mix it up, because I have a feeling the Vikings are going to be probably double teaming AJ Brown and playing him really, really tough. So, but I do think he's going to rush the ball more. I can expect that.
What do you think, Bryce? We're going to see more rushing opportunities for Mr. Hurts. We know last week he did it 17 times for 90 yards. We're going to see more from the quick speediness of the Eagles QB.
I feel like it'll be capped at about 15. I don't think he'll get any more than 15. To piggyback off of a Big Shot Rob's point, which he makes a good point, the Minnesota Vikings defense that's a pretty good defense, and they're going to double team AJ Brown. So if AJ Brown has a quiet game, don't be surprised. Devontae Smith, he's gonna have to step up, and same thing with Dallas Goedert. Well, step up is the wrong word, because it just seems like Jalen Hurts just had this connection with AJ Brown that kept going. The ball's definitely gonna have to be spread around. Miles Sanders has been giving them, especially last week, he was giving them a lot of runs. I hope he can get a few more touches, because again, the problem with Jalen Hurts, he doesn't want to throw the ball. He just wants to run. And eventually you're going to have to throw the ball. So there's going to be times where you're going to have to kind of cap how many times he rushes the ball. So I think it'll be no more than 15. And I think you're going to see him kind of spread the ball more. I think AJ Brown is still going to get some targets and some receptions, because the kid's a stud. You're not going to be able to really, lock him down. But at the same time, I do think he's going to look elsewhere. So I don't think he gets 17 like he had last week. I think no more than 15. Realistically speaking, I would say 12.
Okay, not bad. And I think he is going to be forced to rush out the pocket a little bit more, like you said, with just how good that Vikings defense has been so far early on in the season. I don't think he's going to get 90 yards. I do think he's going to rush for, maybe that 12 to 15 range, and maybe get 50 to 75 yards and not that 90, because let's face it, Detroit, they're still a work in progress, but these Vikings are no joke. They're not going to let you run around. They're going to set QB spies for you all night if they have to. They're going to force him to throw the ball. And this is going to be an interesting test to see if he's going to be a little bit more accurate, because he is a 56 or so odd percent completion percent in his career so far, which that's not the best. So we'll see if he can improve on that in this very big game here against Minnesota on the 19th, coming up very soon. And it's going to be a nice one to watch. Our next topic we got is still in the NFL. We all know LA Chargers QB Justin Herbert went down with that rib injury. How is that going to affect the Chargers? It says he's going to be day-to-day, but will it affect his play on the field this upcoming week, Pride?
110%. If I am Justin Herbert, I do not let the medical team do anything to me, because last time they did, they almost killed Tyrod Taylor. So, and that's not a joke. Like, I'm not joking.
Oh yeah, no, you are legit. That was life and death.
Yes, if I'm Justin Herbert, I do not, under any circumstances, let them do anything to me. I think it's definitely going to bother you, because, I mean, think about it. You jam your thumb, and it hurts, right? You get a case of the hiccups, and that throws your game off. Imagine fractured ribs. Every time he runs, because he can run, and he has to breathe, it's going to hurt. When he throws the ball, it's going to hurt. He gets hit, it's going to hurt. If he falls down and has to get up, it's going to hurt. If he lives, it's going to hurt. So it's definitely going to affect him. If I'm Justin Herbert, I do not play. That's just me. I don't play. If it's a situation where it's just like, oh, I got a paper cut or I accidentally stubbed my toe. Yeah, you can play through that. You're fine. But when we're talking about fractured ribs, that is something that one hit can turn that fracture to a full-blown break.
Yep.
So if I'm him, you know what I mean? Like if I'm him, I'd be very careful. I do think it's going to mess with him. But if I'm Justin Herbert, I don't even take that chance. I just sit down and say, you know what? I'll be back next week because I got to make sure I'm here for the rest of the season. I'd rather miss 1 week than 4. So,
yeah. Makes sense. Rob, what do you think? Is he going to be hampered in this game coming up against Jacksonville this upcoming week? Excuse me, on the 25th, so next week.
Yeah, so he has a little bit over a week, like a week and a half to get ready for that game. We're going to see how he progresses. I mean, I think the Chargers are good enough to beat Jacksonville without him. I'm not sure their backup quarterback is, but I think they can beat him without him. So I wouldn't risk any. I would just if he's not ready to play, I would just sit him and get him ready for the next game. Obviously, you want to have him for the entire season. You don't want to have him suffer a further injury. So yeah, I mean, if he's not ready by next week, I would just sit him, put the backup in, and then go from there.
Anthony Price brings up a good point here. He says, I breathe and run and throw with my ribs. It's going to hurt.
Yes,
and
sir.
Like you said, it is helping that he is getting that. Go ahead, Fred.
Just real quick, because I just want to throw so the backups is either Easton Stick, the youngster from Indianapolis, because they drafted him, right? And I think he kind of took over a little bit for Carson Wentz when he was hurt, or Chase Daniel. So, but again, to Big Shot Rob's point, you're playing the Jags.
Yeah,
you're playing the Jags. I think Keenan Allen is still playing. Austin Eckler is still playing. So, the guys you need are still gonna play. So, I think for one game, you kind of could play a little dink and dunk type of game to just get you by. Because again, it's the Jags. Why would you kill yourself to play the Jags?
Yeah, I mean,
I think the Chargers defense is. Yeah, I think the Chargers defense is good enough to win in this game if it's like a low-scoring game. I mean, I wouldn't trust those quarterbacks, but I mean, the Chargers have a very good defense. So I mean, their defense could definitely win them this game and put pressure on Trevor Lawrence to force him to make mistakes.
Anthony Price came in saying, "Probably don't sleep on them. Their defense has some quickness,
and that's fine." But guess what? I'm in a coma on them because their defense is so fast. They're running fast as F into some else. So I don't even care, and we chilling. Notice how I didn't curse. I didn't curse. I pulled the Cody Rhodes. I stopped, and I didn't say it. So
you had to stop, bite your lip, look down at the ground, pull up some fake tears, and
I think Keenan Allen is playing. I know
I
he
would
was
think
questionable.
so because it is going to be like you said. He is getting a longer break. So I would think he'd be ready to go by then. If not, like you said, they got a game against Jacksonville. Then they're playing Houston the week after. So, I mean, those are two teams that even if Herbert is still not fully 100%, I expect them to beat them just by their talent alone. So I think if you ever wanted someone to get hurt, this is where you want it early on in the season against some teams who are not looking that good.
That honestly, and that's honestly like a phenomenal point. Like, obviously you wouldn't want them to get hurt, but if they do, it's best you get them hurt. Like, you don't want them hurt, and then the next 3 games you have on your schedule is Minnesota, Chiefs,
right?
And how do you want to say Packers because they're mid and Buffalo, right? Like, if you're playing those 3 teams and this is going on, that would be a massive problem, But again,
it'd be hard to bounce back from.
Yeah, and Logan, that's actually a high IQ. See, that's why I call you Chad. You're a Giga Chad. Because I'm telling you, bro, like that's a phenomenal point. Because again, like I would rather get hurt now, so that way when y'all need me to play in those big games, guess what? I'm healthy enough to do it, and we're not in a situation where we know how to win out against hard top tier competition because we just got these little bumps in our back pocket.
Yeah, and looking at the Chargers schedule, their schedule is very much backloaded in terms of tough teams.
Yes.
Looking at it, like I said, they got Jaguars, they got the Texans, the Browns who are going to be without Deshaun Watson, the Broncos in Week 6. That's going to be a tougher test. They got the Seahawks in Week 7. They're off in Week 8. They face the Falcons in Week 9, and then from then you start facing some of the better teams. You got the Niners, Chiefs, Cardinals, Raiders, Dolphins, Titans, Colts in the year with the Rams. So it gets a little bit tougher in that second half for sure. So, like I said, if you want to get hurt, do it in the first half against some of the cream puff teams and get it out the way. Anthony saying pride, like you said, every game matters, so you need to win. It is a rough division, Anthony. There's no doubt about that. But what we're trying to go with is that, I mean, Jacksonville isn't going to be a Super Bowl contender. Cleveland isn't going to be a Super Bowl contender with right now, and these are the teams that you want to face. So I think Herbert will be fine. I think, like I said, fingers crossed you don't get knocked out any longer because he's a phenomenal quarterback.
Right.
But if you were to have a minor injury that could develop into a major one, these are the teams you want to go against in these upcoming weeks here. And one more topic here, fellas, before we move on to our beginning segment. We are talking some college football today. Like I said, not the greatest games, but we're going to look ahead to next week in week 3 or week 4. We got the Texas A&M Aggies and the Alabama Crimson Tide going at it. Early predictions for this one, I'm sure we're going to talk about again in a later episode. But just early on, after watching some of the games today, look at some of the highlights. Who do y'all got going at this upcoming week?
You're talking about the Bama and Aggie one?
Yeah, Bama and Texas A&M.
I mean, I want to be that guy and say Texas A&M. I want to be so bad, but I have to have some legitimacy here. Honestly, I don't even think the question is whether or not Alabama wins. I think what Alabama are we going to get? Are we going to get Alabama that's going to come out here and drop 50 before halftime, and they're going to have Bryce Young throwing for 5 touchdowns before the end of the first half? Or are we going to get the ones that almost sold to, who was it? Who they almost sell to?
Texas.
Texas, yeah, there you go. So it's like, that's just honestly my thing. Which one are we going to get? I think they're going to win, but like I said, I want to be that guy so bad, but I can't do it with a straight face. It's going to be Bama. I think Bama by 30.
Yeah. Also, Jerry, this game is in a few weeks. This is October the 8th. There's still about 3 more games left. So we're going way early on this, I just realized. But, he wanted to talk about it. It's his birthday, so we're going to give him what he wants. Big shot, Rob, what do you think? And early on the season, who do you got favored right now, Bama or the Aggies?
I'd say Bama.
Yeah.
I mean, they were able to squeak out a win against Texas. They're obviously the better team, more talented team. I could see A&M's season just being ruined. I mean, if we beat them tonight, they got Arkansas next week. Arkansas is ranked number 10. I could just see A&M falling out of the top 25, to be honest with you, because they lost to Appalachian State last week. They're playing Miami this weekend. So, I think we're going to beat them. Yeah, we're going to beat them, and I think Arkansas can beat them too. And they're playing all at home. So, I mean.
Yeah, I was about to say, at home, 3-game losing streak. Here's my thing. Forget knocking you out of the top 25. With those 3 L's, you're not getting back in. You can go and defeat the rest of the state. You're not getting back in.
No, ain't no chance.
So it's crucial. So they need a win tonight.
Anthony going with Oregon. They beat BYU today. Kind of a bit of an upset there in top 25. So they're going up. He said Georgia is still the top team to beat and go all the way. Their defense is amazing. Just one more quick thing. Who do you have as number 1 right now, Bama, or do you have the Bulldogs keeping that top spot? I'm going to go
Georgia.
UGA. Easy peasy. They give up their first touchdown today with their 6-string guys playing in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, they're still number 1 for me.
Yeah, a legitimate ranking poll would have Georgia.
Yep.
However, the committee's not legitimate, so they're going to put Alabama.
I would hope not, man. Just because Georgia did beat. I mean, who was Alabama faced ULM? Where I think Louisiana somewhere, and I mean Georgia faced South Carolina. I mean, I know that South Carolina is not the greatest, but I mean that's still an SEC program with some 4 or 5-star guys, and they whooped them too. So that's why I got Georgia number 1. I wish our boy Gonzo was here to answer this because he is a Colts fanatic. He said, "How worried should the Colts be without Pittman?" If I'm Matt Ryan, I am praying that he comes back sooner rather than later.
I mean, think about it.
Very worried.
Yeah.
I mean, they already had a weak wide receiver room.
Yeah. This was the guy.
Right. This really was the only guy. And in my opinion, I don't think Pittman is that guy yet. I just think he needs a little more time. But they were like, oh, yeah, this guy, he needs to be that guy. Now, without him, who are you throwing to now?
Yeah. And look at the injury report. Like I said, they've got a lot of guys out on both sides of the ball. Alec Pierce, the guy they drafted from Cincy, he's out with concussion. They got Shaquille Leonard out, DeForest Buckner. It ain't looking good early on the season. So if you're Jonathan Taylor, get ready for some rushes this week, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to run all day.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. Anthony said NCAA loves. Oh, of course. Come on. Alabama's their cash cow. We all know this. You know how much money that program's made for them over the last 15, 20 years? Come on.
I picked the Colts to win in that survivor pool, man. I might.
Oh,
too late now to change my pick.
A little too late. We done got it locked in, brother.
LOL.
Little too late.
It's locked in already, man. Yep.
Well, let's get into.
Hey, you never know, man. Jonathan Taylor could have a big day and run all day, and maybe somebody else will step up. You know, I mean,
bro, Jonathan Taylor's gonna.
The Jaguars.
Go ahead.
No, I said the Jaguars did knock the Colts out of playoff contention last year, so it is a kind of a revenge playoff game. But I mean, you're missing your top wide receiver, Michael Pittman. I got that guy in a few fantasy lineups, man. So I'm making adjustments, scrambling a wide receiver right now. There's a lot of guys questionable for this week. I hate the questionable tags, but for the most part, I think guys that are questionable end up playing. It's only if you're doubtful that you end up don't playing. But you never know.
Look, Jonathan Taylor's going to score 3 touchdowns. He's going to rush for over 300 yards for the Colts to lose by 15. You'll love to see it.
That could very well be a possibility, fellas. But let's get into the boxing ring. We got a big fight field tonight, Saturday 17th, 8 o'clock Eastern. It's already done started the prelims and the early fight card. We got Canelo, we got Triple G, the trilogy. Who we got going with this one? Who's winning this one? I'll let you start things off, Big Shot Rob. Who you got winning this grudge match here?
I got to go with Canelo, man. I think he lost his last fight. I can't see him losing again. I mean, Triple G is a great fighter, but I think Canelo's going to bounce back. He's going to win this fight tonight.
What about you, what about you, Brad? Who do you got going this one? You got Canelo, you got Golovkin. Who you winning?
As much as it hurts, because I love Triple G. I love Golovkin, but we're looking at a guy who is 40 years old fighting a kid in his prime. Triple G, I will be nice to think Triple G has a chance. However, to basically back up Big Shot Rob's point, after losing to Bivol, Canelo's tight. He's mad. He's heated, right? Like the first fight when he fought Triple G, it was a split decision. So it was a draw, right? His next fight, he immediately fights Triple G again and wins majority decision. Mind you, a lot of people thought that Canelo lost that second fight. And there are some people who believe Canelo lost the first fight. So if you ask other different people about the fight, a lot of people think in all actuality it's 1-1. A lot of other people think Triple G's up 2-0. It's very few people that think Canelo really won any of those fights. So coming off a loss against a guy Canelo has been saying I've wanted him, like I've wanted this trilogy for a while now, I think we're going to go in. We're going to see a angry, come round 3, we're going to see a very dangerous Canelo Alvarez. He's going to, round 1, he's going to test, see what Triple G does. He's going to do his generic Canelo thing. Rounds 1 and 2, he's thrown away. But usually what you see with Canelo, round 3, round 4, and round 5, that's when the output starts going up at a steady pace. I think here you're not going to see that steady incline. I think you're going to see him round 3. He's just going to start beating the bricks off Triple G. And this is going to be the first time we're going to see the age on Triple G. This is going to be the first time where people are going to go, man, this dude looks like he's 40 now. He looks like he's 40. Because ever since he ended up losing to Canelo, he's still been fighting.
That's true.
He's still been fighting. And not a single person has been saying, oh, yeah, he looks his age. He's been fighting dudes like, he's still been very active. So for me, it's I gotta go Canelo. And it hurts me to say that, but I think this is going to be a moment that Triple G is gonna honestly consider retirement. That's how bad I think it's gonna be, because at 40 years old.
Right. He ain't getting any younger.
At 40 years old, you are now gonna fight Canelo Alvarez for the third time. A Canelo that just came off an L against Bivol. And if you ask Canelo, he did not lose that fight. So you have a very angry. I think he's gonna end up coming out and it's gonna be a slaughter. I think rounds 3 and 4. I think it's gonna be a slaughter. I hope I'm wrong, because I love Triple G, but it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup. Also, go watch our boy Chris Gonzalez going to be watching the fights. He has a show going on right now. You can go watch. I know him. I'm sure Mr. Gonzalez, Tony's going to be there with him too, more than likely.
Yes.
It's always fun time over there with them. Also, Damian. Also, I'm going to go with Canelo getting the win on this one. Like you said, I think he's just too pissed off. He's got that eye of the tiger. I think he's going to win this one. Like you said, he's just a stud, man. We all know what he's about. So I'm going to go Canelo getting the W in this one. Anthony said Canelo in 6. Damian said Canelo in 5. Mm-hmm. And also, Damian poses the question, would y'all say this fight is bigger than Wilder versus Fury?
No. And I'm going to tell you why. Wilder and Fury had casuals watching boxing.
That's true.
As much as I love Canelo versus Triple G, this is not a casual fighter's dream. This is for someone like a person who watches boxing and enjoys boxing. This is what you would like. Two guys who are very technical but can come out and also brawl. When you saw Fury versus Wilder, that was just a bloodbath.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So for me, the only reason why I'm not going to say it's bigger is because you had casuals shelling out money to watch them fight.
True.
And that's just how it is, especially when you're at the heavyweight division. Once you start getting up there and it's all about knockouts and whatnot, you're more likely to attract the casuals. So just for that reason, I'm going to say no. But in terms of pure talent, I do think this is better. I really do, because no disrespect to Deontay Wilder, but we've seen him. When that power punch is not, like, when he can't knock you out with that power punch, he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
He's knocked down Fury, and when he couldn't keep him down, he did not know what to do, and he started freezing up and getting pieced up.
Yep.
Getting hit on his chin. He's getting hit in his chin, looks at the ref, says, "You hit me in the back of the head." Nah, dog. We got to stop this fight right now, bro. My guy got you thinking you getting jumped. We got to stop it, bro.
You ain't wrong. Yeah, but like I said, it's going to be a good fight. Go check out Chris's channel and go watch his live reactions to it. It's going to be a fun night of boxing. All right, let's move on back into the NFL with football on all of our minds. The Buccaneers have had a cruel fate early on this season, fellas. They've had a lot of injuries. We all know they're losing their left tackle, Smith. Of course, Godwin, they're not going to be there this upcoming week. There's a bunch of other guys who are questionable or who are already banged up. How will the Bucs fare this upcoming week? Are they going to have a struggle? Or you think the GOAT is going to be able to pull it out and get the win for Tampa this upcoming week? Probably what you think?
Man. It's going to be an uphill battle.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're playing the Saints.
Yes.
A Saints team that showed you, we do have a little bit of grit to us. As much as it pains me and hurts me to say this, I think the Saints get the win. As much as it hurts me to say that. I just don't think there's a point where eventually the hill you want to climb is too steep. Combine that with the fact, and this is something as much as it's awkward to mention, we do need to bring this up. Tom is going through some personal stuff right now.
That's true. We don't know what all's going on, but we know he's been taking some time away.
Right. So it's like, no, I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to say, Giselle, you better check yourself because your lucky Tom is even looking at you. All right? You ain't all that in a bag of chips. Okay? You're a stale cookie from Subway. Check yourself and go back to Tom. All right? And Tom, stop being sensitive, okay? My guy got a facelift. Relax. You're good, bro. Settle down, bro. My guy having a midlife crisis. He about to get veneers. In 2 weeks, my man about to take a week off and get veneers. Settle down, Tommy boy. You're going to be fine, all right? Okay? Y'all both old. Y'all not going to get anybody else. So just shut up, get back together, and we move on with our lives. Brady's losing everything left, right, and center. This is just usually how it goes. And I think combine that with the fact that the Saints in the regular season just always has the Bucs number. I don't know what it is. But for some reason in the regular season, the Saints always have that advantage. Combine all that, begrudgingly and reluctantly, I think the Saints are going to win.
Rob, who you got winning this ball game with a bunch of Bucs being injured?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Anytime two division rivals face off, now the Buccaneers have all these injuries, and they are playing in New Orleans in the Superdome. That place is going to be loud and rocking. It's hard not to go with the Saints, man. But the Bucs quarterback is Tom Brady, and we've seen Tom Brady do amazing things throughout his career. So I won't give up on the GOAT, man. But I would say the Saints are the healthier team. They probably win this game. But I never give up on Tom Brady. I've seen him do so many things in his career with guys injured and stuff like that. So I mean, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a good game, though.
Yeah, it is going to be a tough game, and I mean, this is a really big matchup early on the season. See who's going to take, that early lead in the NFC South, because I mean, these are the only two teams really going at it, and it's going to be interesting to see because I mean, there's a lot of guys on this Buccaneers lineup who were at limited practice just on Friday, or who are going to be out. So it's going to be interesting to see. But like you said, never count out Tom Brady, man. Never do. Damien saying AB is daddy now. Okay. A little creepy, but okay. I think, it just depends on how Jameis is going to play. Which one are we going to see? We're going to see calm, cool, collected Jameis who does what he always does, who throws for a bunch of yards and some touchdowns, or we're going to see turnover after turnover after turnover. I mean, that's going to be big. I think the Buccaneers defense is going to have to play amazing. I expect this one to be a close ball game. And I expect, I think this is going to be one of the better matchups, even with all these injuries. Let's not forget, Mike Evans is still on the team for the Buccaneers. Now he's their top receiver, bar none. So I expect him to get a heavy dose of balls thrown his way. I expect Leonard Fournette to do, if he can duplicate what he did last week, my goodness, watch out. And it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. Also, he said Godwin's out. Evans is injured. But it did say, I think, Evans, let me see. He's questionable. He was in limited practice. So he's not officially out yet, but he is going to be a little bit banged up, I think. So we will see how that game goes. It's going to be one of the better ones this upcoming matchup, man, with the NFL kicking off still. And also, too, right, the Saints, they're going to be a fun team to watch. A lot of good players over there after the the amazing, just miraculous win against the Falcons last week. I mean, we all knew that was going to happen. Those people are here. We all knew that was coming around. It's an Atlanta thing. What can you say?
I just want to touch on one thing because Damien says Bucks need to call OBJ.
Right.
You do know OBJ still can't play, right?
He's still banged up too.
You do know he's still recovering from his ACL, right? I get it. You saw a picture of him standing. That's not how it works, brother. All right?
Just because standing.
Yeah, brother. Like, there's way more to it. That's one. And two, I mean, like, do you know how dumb that is, bro? Like, hold on. They won't play Godwin, but they're going to play OBJ, and they got the same injury around the same time. Mark? Like,
nah, but Dan, I will say, someone who needs to sign OBJ whenever he gets healthy, man, I'm looking at these Packers, bro.
Oh,
these Packers need some help.
Without a shadow of a doubt, bro. Like, imagine this, like, bro. It's bad, bro. When Sammy Watkins was supposed to be like one of your leading receivers, bro.
Allen Lazard is your premier number one receiver.
Like, bro,
no disrespect to him, but come on.
No, with all due disrespect, the man can't even spell his own name, let alone read a defense enough to run the proper route. What are we talking about?
Oh God, it's hey, but you know what though, fellas? Aaron Rodgers got his bag, and that's what he wanted.
Yeah, he did that until he threw it to a rookie, and the rookie dropped it. And Aaron Rodgers looked at the sideline like, Oh,
I knew there was a reason I rested Watson last week in my lineup. I knew there's a reason. All right, let's keep it moving, fellas. On to our next topic here. We are going to be talking about a man who's been in headlines for all the wrong reasons in the last week or so. Suns owner Robert Sarver. His drama keeps moving. A sponsor for them said they will leave if Sarver comes back. And also, minority owner for the Suns, he wants him to resign. Those are just the latest happenings in this ongoing case. We know the NBA suspended him for 1 season, fined him $10 million, which is pocket change to him. So what do you think about these new developments with the Suns sponsorship potentially wanting out, and also the minority owner calling for him to resign from the team? Pride, I'll let you kick things off, my friend.
Just real quick, do you mind if I answer Anthony Price's question real quick?
Oh, yeah, no problem here. Anthony said Saints always beat Tampa Bay. Was that a Sean Payton coaching move or a team win since Sean is now not the coach?
I do think it's a combination. I think it's a combination between the coach, yes, but when you have good leadership in terms of on the field and you got players who know certain games to get up, I think that's going to go through. Sure, you lose Sean Payne, but you get a great leader in Honey Badger.
That's true.
Jameis Winston is showing you he's a great leader. You get Michael Thomas back. Last year, they beat the Bucs without Michael Thomas.
That's true.
So I think with all that, it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to say the curse is broken until I see the Bucs beat them twice in a row in the regular season. Until then, the curse still exists. I just want to throw that out there real quick. But to Robert Sarver, it's weird. Not only did you say about the entire thing about him getting fined, he got suspended for a whopping year. Here's the question I have. What does that suspension do?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't need to show up to get paid. Like, okay, he doesn't have to watch the games. He probably doesn't even want to be around them because Chris Paul and Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton are there. So he probably doesn't want to be in the facility anyway. Still got Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. He don't want to be there anyway. He's like, look at all these guys. I hate them, bro. I'm about to send another email. Like, what? So, like, him get suspended, y'all basically doing him a favor.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wild to me. I need someone to explain to me. This is the question I have. What is the difference between him and Donald Sterling? I need to know the difference because they were accused of doing the same thing. They both were guilty for doing the same thing and were punished for doing the same thing. Donald Sterling was out the league. I agree with it, and I hope and pray he comes back. And didn't he die?
Donald Sterling.
I feel like he did pass away.
Let me check real quick. No, he is still alive at 80 years young.
Good. Yes. I hope he comes back and asks us to allow him back in the league. And I hope there is a owner's vote, and it's unanimous that the piece of garbage needs to stay out. And then after that, go fall down some stairs and you hope your life alert thing runs out of batteries. Why is Robert Sarver allowed to still be the owner? It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Now, put in the fact that sponsors are like, we don't want nothing to do with him.
And also the sponsor is PayPal, by the way.
Yes, which if I'm not mistaken,
a big company,
is their biggest sponsor. I need, again, fact check me. I believe PayPal is their biggest sponsor.
Yeah, PayPal is the one that's on their jersey.
Yes. Yeah. So, and if they're on their jersey, that means those sponsors is that's some big dogs, big players right there. So I don't get it. And now a lot of the owners, like the minority owners, to your point, Logan, they want to sell and kind of get out of Dodge. Now, if Robert Sarver potentially could be your only owner, imagine that. I think eventually he's going to end up getting out because PayPal's going to pull out. They're like, bro.
Yeah, they said if he is still in charge, I believe they said by the time his suspension is over, so next year, that they will pull out. Which I'm assuming that's maybe when their contract lasts till. I'm not too sure, but that's just what they said this past week.
Probably. So it's going to be interesting, but in my opinion, my question is, what's the difference between him and Donald Sterling? I just need to know the difference because, again, they were accused, found guilty, and punished for doing the same thing. Yeah, and usually the NBA is good with this stuff. This is one of those times that they slipped up, but I need to know the difference because, in my opinion, I'm just confused at this point. I just need to know the difference.
Right. Rob, what do you got about that? About what Pride said and also with the just situation in general?
Yeah, I agree with Pride. I mean, I don't think this guy has any business being an owner. So I think PayPal, will withdraw. I mean, this guy's already super rich. I mean, he founded he founded Southwest Value Partners, which is a real estate development company. So I mean, he's already got a lot of money. So I mean, it's not like he's broke. So I mean, if he were to step down from the Phoenix Suns and the Mercury and whatever else he's associated with, I mean, this guy's still going to be rich, man. And it's not like he's going broke. But yeah, I mean, I don't agree with what he did at all.
Right. Anthony Price said, wasn't the Raiders ex-coach doing the same thing? I know it's different from coach to owner. Yeah. John Gruden, we've talked about him. We all don't like him, especially myself. But yeah, he said some horrible stuff in person, mostly emails, and just bad dude all around. Anthony also said, talking about Donald Sterling, people wanted Sterling out. The whole league hated him, which they did. I mean, everyone hated that dude, honestly. Mm-hmm. And with Sarver, I mean, we talked about a little bit this past week, but I said that, like, dude, like the 1 year suspension, it's like whatever. Like, you fine him $10 million, which to us is like $5. Like, that ain't nothing for him. He makes probably $10 million a week, so that ain't nothing. And also, I mean, I don't understand the same thing either. I mean, they said he was being misogynistic, he's being sexist. He was, saying the N-word in emails. I mean, what's the difference here, fellas? I mean, I don't understand it. The only thing I can think of that I spoke about was there were video recordings, audio recordings of Donald Sterling, but I don't know, there might not be leaked yet, of Sarver doing. I just know there's those emails. That's the only difference I can see. But to that still, though, what's the big difference, I mean, if it's in writing or if it's in audio, is it that much worse? If the intent is still there, I'm just saying. Just a wild situation, man. We'll see what happens. But like I said, he's out for a year, gonna find 10 mil, and hey man, I don't know. Something just seems a little foggy over Phoenix right now. Not just this, but I don't know, man. Past few seasons, things just ain't been going their way. It seems. Well, let's keep it moving on. Let's go on to our next topic here. Talking some baseball. Of course, we mentioned Roberto Clemente Day was just the other day, and the Rays make history on that day by starting an all Latin American lineup the other day. So what do you guys think about this? Just a monumental moment in the history of baseball. Rob, I'll let you start things off, brother.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, because the game of baseball is now, or it hasn't always been global, but now it's good to see that the game is global, that you have so many Hispanics playing baseball. And to see like an all lineup of Hispanics is great. It just shows the diversity of the game. And you also see a lot of guys now coming over from obviously Japan and Taiwan. You got Otani, and it's just great for the game that the game has expanded and gone global. Even though the game isn't as popular as probably other American sports that we have with basketball and football, but baseball is America's pastime, and it's always going to be one of the greatest games to watch.
That's a good point. Pride, what you got about this historic moment in baseball history, my friend?
It's nice, especially it happening on Roberto Clemente Day, but I'm just more with how many Hispanics are in the league, in the league, and how they have camps in Dominican Republic, not the Dominican,
right?
Okay, in Dominican Republic, not in the Dominican, like. You're a tourist, okay? Don't go over there. Dominican Republic. I'm sorry, Logan. It grinds my gears when people say the Dominican. But in Dominican Republic, they have camps. They have camps in a lot of places. I think they even have a couple camps in Mexico. I'm just shocked. This is the first time it's been an all Hispanic lineup. That's really what blew my mind. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. This is really the first time? And it's crazy, Mike. I hate you.
He said, "Look at Pride being forced to talk about the race. Willingly proud of you." And also, he said, "The Dominican."
He does this because he hates me. But I'm honestly surprised. This is the first time it ever happened. Yeah. That's honestly what it is for me. First.
And they said it wasn't intentional. They said they just wanted to stack the lineup against whoever they were facing that night. But come on, really? I think it was a tad bit intentional there, sir. But yeah, like I said, great moment. Fit on a very fitting day. So the lineup was Yandy Diaz, third base is Cuban. Randy Rosarena, right fielder, also from Cuba. Wander Franco, the shortstop from Dominican Republic. There we go, Pride. Harold Ramirez, first base, Colombia. Manuel Margot, the DH from Dominican Republic. David Peralta, left fielder from Venezuela. Isaac Paredes, second baseman from Mexico. Rene Pinto, the catcher from Venezuela. And finally, Jose Siri, the center fielder from Dominican Republic.
Hey, Siri.
So, there it is. Mike Hughes says, "I love the Republicans."
I know what he meant by that.
I know what he meant. Yes.
Yeah, but it's just funny because it's like a double entendre.
No, I've not been to the Dominican. I have not. He said it's
Logan,
a beautiful place.
By the way, can you pull up his last thing? Like, I love the Republicans real quick. Mike, and here's the thing. I just want to know. Mike knows what he did.
He knows.
So I don't want people saying, "Oh man, he knows what he did." This is one of those double meaning things.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I know. I'm gonna go on a quick tangent. It's things like this that make me go, okay. This is one of those things that make me realize how great rappers like Eminem are. Because this is a type of line Eminem would say, where it's one line, but it has like 15 different meanings that makes you sit down and really This is one of those lines that make you look up the lyrics of a song so you could read them and study them and really understand what you're saying. I just want to throw that out there. Mike Hughes, never change. Be you, big brother.
He said, "I'll double down on
it." Bing bong. I love this, man.
All right, fellas, let's keep it moving here. We're on a nice pace tonight. We're going already to our final topic. And of course, we're talking about the WNBA Finals. It is not over yet. We are going to Game 4 with the Las Vegas Aces and the Connecticut Sun. Game 4 preview. A lot of us called for an Aces sweep. Not going to happen. Are they going to pull out the W in game number 4, playing tomorrow at, I believe, 4 o'clock Eastern? So a very strange time, but hey, nonetheless. Rob, who you got winning this game? The Aces going to get it all, or will the Sun force a Game 5?
I'm going to go ahead and take the Aces. I'm not too much into the WNBA basketball, but, I heard that I think they're just a better team. But, yeah, I'll go ahead and take the Aces.
All right. What about you, Pride? Who you going with this one?
I said this from the jump. The Connecticut Suns are winning. We're going to be fine. We're going to handle our business. Listen, it's not going to be the same dominating win that we saw Game 3, okay? So let me just get it out the way. It's not going to be that dominating win. However, I do think we have the opportunity to win by 10. I do think, like person for person on the roster, I do think we can hang with the Aces 110%. I don't care what anyone says. I love Jones. Alyssa Thomas, that's a dog. Courtney Williams, double dog. Okay? What else y'all want? Don't wanna take a L, Aces? That's what we finna be doing out here, bro. That's another dog. I said the Suns were gonna win. And we chilling, bro. And by the way, Mike says Kurt Miller don't want no smoke with Becky in Game 5. But here's the thing, bro. Becky don't want no Game 5. You want to know why? Because in order to Game 5, what does that mean? That means the Aces are finna lose 2 in a row. You ever heard Becky Hammond stuttering? You ever heard her stuttering? You finna find out Game 5 when we stutter ass out of here, bro. Suns in 5, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. Only time I ever cheer for the Suns.
It'll be a good matchup tomorrow. Game 4, 4 o'clock Eastern. Sun versus Aces. I'm going to go with the Sun. Or excuse me, I'm going to go with the Aces. I've been picking them, Pride. I'm sorry. I've been going with them from the start, from the get-go. I ain't letting off. Like I said, I ain't got a dog in this fight like you do. But I want Becky Hammond to succeed. I think she's going to get that chip. And it's going to be a good one. Also, Hughes coming in with Bonner is the most electrifying player in the W. right now.
100%. Granted, she's not the best, but man, she's a stud. Yeah, nah, she a stud. 100%, she a stud. Let me ask y'all a question because we got a few. You mind if I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's say Becky Hammon wins. Like, let's say she ends up winning here, right? Let's say in the next 5 years. By the way, Kelsey Plum, does she deserve a chip? In my opinion, not really. But that's a controversial take. I've been kicked out of a lot of groups for saying that, but I'll stand by it. Like, sure, no, we need to pump the brakes on this Kelsey Plum thing. Solid player, but we need to stop pretending like she's this electrifying top. No, so settle down, bro. Come on, bro. Anyway, let me ask y'all a question.
Okay.
Let's say Becky Hammon, it was like a 5-year deal she signed with the
I believe so, yes.
coach. Because I let me
fact check that for you.
Yeah, because I just want to make sure
I
say this right, because I want to say it was 5 years.
It does say she's making over $1 million. Which congrats to that. But come on now. I want to scroll through a whole. Don't you love looking at an article, trying to find just a simple answer to your question? And they just won't show you. Yes, Pride is a 5-year contract.
It is? Okay.
Yes.
So let's say in these 5 years, let's say she gets 3 rings, right? 3 and 5. And let's say, and by the way, real quick, Mike. See, Mike, you're saying Kelsey's been through mud with the organization. Okay, that's fine. She's been through mud with the organization. You know who else has been through mud with their organization? Karl Anthony Towns. You don't see anyone screaming he deserves a chip. Just because you've been with your team since day one and you rode through, that doesn't mean you deserve a chip. That doesn't always equate to you deserving a chip. She rode through the organization. Do you want to know why she rode through? Because no one else wanted her. Tell the full story. The reason why she was riding with the mud and she couldn't go nowhere else was because the majority of that mud was on her. Tell the full story. Don't make it seem like she's this stud and she out here dominating the game and she did a service. Nah, get out of here with that foolishness. I don't care. Anyway, that got me tight. I just don't like why people think all of a sudden Kelsey Plum is a top 5 player. What? What are we talking about? Yo, yeah, she was there in the trenches. Well, yeah, because she had nowhere else to go. She had nowhere else to go. My fault. Anyway, 5 years. Let's say she gets 3 rings, right?
Okay.
3 rings. Let's say she's 3-1 in the finals. And let's say, for the sake of argument, she makes a conference finals all 5 years, right? So at the bare minimum, she's the Aces are a powerhouse team, which everyone expects. Everyone expects the Aces to be a powerhouse team. Do you think, because she is the first woman in the NBA to get paid over like $1 million or more,
right?
Do you think she ends up going back to the NBA for a head coaching gig?
If some team gives her the money, I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
But here's the question: what would be the money? Like if you're Becky Hammon, what would be the deal you would want to leave the WNBA? Because granted, any team can pay her more.
Right. I mean, yeah, of course.
The impact she has on the WNBA, this is her first year, and the impact she's already had is astronomical.
Right. She already brought her team to the finals.
Right.
Like, win or lose, she brought her team to the finals.
That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like, if you're Becky Hammon, do you leave? Like, think about it. Do you really leave the WNBA after your 5 years is up?
That's a good point. Let's see. I'm trying to find what the lowest paid coaches in the NBA. Looks like right now, and this might be a little bit outdated.
I'm talking head coach, though. Head coach.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not
like a bench coach, because she already did that with the Spurs.
It says the lowest paid NBA head coach. This is an article from last year, so this is just what I'm going off of.
Okay.
But it says it's Taylor Jenkins with the Grizzlies. He got about $2.5 million. But I didn't know he signed an extension, but I don't know for how much more.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, so let's say for the sake of argument,
let's base off that.
So the minimum she'll make is 2.6. Now I'll be honest, I don't think she gets paid that. I think she'll get more.
How much you got? Maybe 5?
I
could see 5. If she does the 3 rings in 5 years or whatever,
If she does 3 rings in 5 years, if you're talking about the 3 rings in 5, and by the way, I forgot her name real quick. No, I forgot. Someone make, I think it was the all rookie team, and she didn't even average 2 points a game. So pump the brakes. Settle down.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Kelsey Plum made it because of the hype y'all giving her this year. This year. Tell the full story how 2 years ago no one was talking about her. Tell the full story. Tell the full story. That's the only thing I asked when you were talking about Kelsey Plum. Tell the full story. Don't all of a sudden pretend she Breonna Stewart been dominating ever since she came in the league. That's all I asked. Tell the full story. That's all I ask. I'm asking too much. My fault, Logan. But I will say this, Logan. For Becky Hammon, I am not. He goes, "What are you smoking, bro?" She won 60-minute player of the year. Listen. If you want to be on the Kelsey Plum bandwagon, go ahead. When that wheel falls off because she got smoked by the Suns, and next year she takes a step off, I promise you, Mike, you and I can have this conversation. I promise you, we can have this conversation. But I will say this about Becky Hammon. If I'm Becky Hammon, I do not leave. I don't care what anyone says. I do not leave for anything under 7.
I think that's good. Because also, too, she's going to be making history as the first female head coach. Let's not forget that, too. So, I mean, she's going to get that money.
Right. And by the way,
rightfully so, I think.
Real quick. And by the way, Mike, I just want to throw this out there real quick. And Mike, you're saying this based off the last 2 years. Do me a favor, Michael. Holla at me about the last 3 years, Mike. Her first 3 years. What was she doing, Mike? Before she had the explosion 2 years ago. What was she doing, Michael? That's what I'm telling you. Tell the full story. You're hopping on her based on the last 2 years. The last 3, but the 3 years prior to that, Shorty was mid at best. Her peak was mid, bro. She was Patrick Beverly with long hair and no defense, bro. She was just there.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying, bro, tell the full story. Tell the full story. It's okay for you to be like, all right, look, I'm hopping on her bandwagon because the last 2 years she's been lit. That's good. That's okay. You can say that. But before these these last 2 years, if you go back to her first 3 years, look, she's never averaged double-digit points. Shooting under 45% from the floor. Bar?
Yeah.
Bar? That Bar? I'm just asking for a little bit of consistency. If you want to say, oh, yeah, I'm hopping on her now, okay, I get it. No problem. I'm rocking with it.
And then one more question here before we get to our final thoughts. Damien said, do y'all see Beckham coaching the men's and women's national team simultaneously?
I think what he means is the men's or women's national team.
I got you. Okay.
The women's national team, 110%.
Without question, I think.
110%. Like I think the
men's team will be tougher though. Men's team will be tougher.
But again,
I think she could get, honestly, man. If
I don't think. I'll be honest, Logan. I don't think it'll be that tough because she coming from the Greg Popovich tree.
Yep.
I think if Greg
Popovich got that pedigree,
if he goes in there and goes, "Hey, yo, take a look at my girl Becky, bro. Yeah. Go take a look," and her going in there and commandeering the respect, because I think she can commandeer that respect.
Yeah.
I think if you give her some of the best players,
you can get respect, you know?
Yeah, so I think the women's, I think that's hers to lose. I think the men's, I think she has a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. So. I think she has a chance, 100%.
All right, boys, let's get into final thoughts here. Rob, what you got going on, man? Any final thoughts you want to get out before we end the show tonight?
Yeah, man. Good luck to my Hurricanes tonight against Texas A&M.
There you go. Game's coming
on
just
the Dolphins. Yeah, 9 o'clock, man. Getting ready. And then tomorrow, man, big game, Dolphins versus Ravens. I'm hoping the Dolphins go into Baltimore and can whoop some Raven ass and get that W.
Yes, sir. All right, Pride, what you got? What you got? Final thoughts, Pride?
36%. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Where is it? I just saw it a minute ago. 36.5%. You let me know anyone who can shoot that, and you tell me they're like a top tier player. Anyone shooting 36% from the floor, you let me know whether or not that they're top tier. My fault. Let me shut up. It's been a pleasure to be here with you guys. I'm probably gonna get canceled, but Kelsey Plum smiles like the Joker, and that's what her game is, a joke. So tell the full story. When y'all refer to her, please tell the full story. Talk about how inefficient she is. Talk about how many bad plays she be running. Talk about it. I'm just asking for a friend. If we can slander Candace Parker for selling the Chicago Sky, if Mike was slandering her, Mike, if you can slander her, Kelsey Plum can take some of it too. She can take some of that acid that you got, Mike. Come on, brother. Do better, bro.
There you go.
By the way, can I touch on this?
Yeah, go ahead real quick.
I am actually, when I thought this was a joke, they actually held a press conference.
Yes, there was a press conference in Vegas for this.
Yes. And
I was Rob, we know you don't watch wrestling, but we're gonna get you caught up to current news here.
I was so upset and so angry and so offended. I actually unsubscribed to Peacock.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, Peacock is the main streaming hub for all the WWE pay-per-views now.
Yeah. So basically, the WWE network went over to Peacock. I will not be watching it.
Pride is joining an AEW cult now.
But you know what? I'm an AEW fanboy. CM Punk was the problem. Free Omega, free Hangman Adam Page, free the Young Bucks. Ace Steel, we gotta fire him. Tony Khan did nothing wrong, and we're better than WWE.
There you go. But anyways, Rob, Roman Reigns is like the WWE champion for over 2 years now without losing. And Logan Paul, who we all know is the social media darling, yada, yada, yada. He's had, 1-2 matches, Pride, if that. And is now going to be fighting for said championship in Saudi Arabia in early November. So that is going on. And also, like Damien said, he could believe it. So it is a match. There will be a winner. There will be a loser. Shout out my boy Logan Paul. Get the win for us Logans and bring home the chip for us. That's all I want. Anyways, let's look at the real football, right? Some real sports here. Gotta hate people say that, right? I really do. College football going on right now. Around the league for in things here. A lot of blowouts, not much to speak of. Some close games, though. Some potential upsets. Number 10, Arkansas is down 17-14 against Missouri State. So watch out for that. Also a big upset brewing, which looks a little bit more feasible. The Washington Huskies are up big 22-0 over number 11, the Michigan State Spartans, with about 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Let's see, Florida's up by 2 scores on South Florida. Pittsburgh is only up by about a touchdown on Western Michigan. Number 5, Clemson is up by 7 against Louisiana Tech early in the second quarter. But other than that, not too much brewing today. A lot of big blowouts today. A lot of like I said, Oregon beating BYU is probably the biggest one. Wake Forest escaped barely by beating Liberty. Wake Forest number 19. They won 37-36. Just a big win. Also, App State hosted College Game Day, got the win. Last second Hail Mary. So you love to see it for them. And their already historic season of a lot of stuff going on continues. But anything you guys want to say before we hop off tonight? One last chance. Rob, anything you want to go with?
I'm good, man.
Oh, good. Pride, anything you want to get off your chest before we get out?
Mac Jones is going to get MVP.
There you go. You guys enjoyed the show. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Go live Tuesdays, Thursdays, 7 o'clock Eastern. Saturdays at 8. For my guys, Pride and Big Shot Rob, thank you all so much for coming on and doing this show with me as always. Frankie C, hope you and your lovely kids are doing good. Jay, hope you're awake right now, celebrating your birthday. And we'll see you guys on Tuesday, 7 o'clock for another live episode of Unscripted. See y'all then.